Okay, Moose. Come on, Moose. Come on. Come in and take a seat. The trick is you hold it like this, and they won't be afraid to eat grass.
Okay.
And then just be still. That's really all it takes. And they're going to start really coming in, and you can hold more than one.
Okay. I tried this at my mom's house. It's back in the Midwest one time. It didn't work.
And if you hold one of the large ones like that,
Okay.
you can watch their tongues through the clear plastic. Staging up in the olive tree to the right. They have to eat enough right before sunset.
Yeah, because it's like that's what they do. They have to.
They can't see it all in the darkness.
What tree is it that's super high?
Costus.
We have a lot of ruby flowers by it.
No, you have anise.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing?
We've been in here like for time.
Wings are beating 80 times a second. And in that same time, it's also one complete respiration and one heartbeat.
Wow. That's what they eat, right? They just have to, I mean, that, like, they have to
Sugar
feed
and
themselves
butter.
just to be able to stop their wings. Wow. And they all get along pretty well coming over here. Because they can be very territorial. Right? Very territorial?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Come on in. Oh, okay. Yeah, come on over.
Okay, I'm going to switch out. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Seriously, this is something I've always wanted to do.
Okay. I'm out before dawn, too.
You said you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah. Palm Springs Hummingbirds.
Awesome. And your name was?
Steve.
Steve, I'm here. Thank you so much. Have fun.
Is it okay if we just come in here?
Yeah. Nope.
Well, I'm from Washington, and I see hummingbirds up there, and
Okay.
also,
You gotta get close.
okay, also in Alaska too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I'm Cheryl.
Okay. Go on in and take a seat. And get right in the middle of it. Keep going.
Oh, well, that's your chair, though.
No, it's not. Can't you count? Look, see?
Well, now we just separated you guys completely.
We have a few of them down there at the iron tree. It's flying around, but
That's Moose.
This Moose, he's great.
Yeah, he is. He's friendly, and there's also Jackie.
She's a tiny one.
She's the black one.
Yeah, I just saw her a second.
Yeah, Well, they both came from like pretty serious neglect,
Poop on me.
and Moose wants everybody to love him. That's his goal in life, and Jackie just wants people to be polite and keep their distance.
Oh my goodness.
Now,
That one is tiny.
If you
These
hold
are
the
so
feet,
tiny.
feet out of your,
Is that one?
feet right,
Right
out
out
of
of
your hand. Feet right out of
Some
your
of them are Anna's, right? Are they Anna's?
not
Or
here
no?
tonight.
Not here?
Those are ruby feet.
Those are custards.
These are costas? Okay.
Because we have the.
If you
Rufus,
hold the hand
too.
feeders like this, and just stay still,
And they'll come.
right like that, and they'll come right to you.
Okay.
And we fill them up, right?
Uh-huh.
Listen to these. This is
What
great.
treat?
I'm like, really?
I know mine whenever they're feeding their poop. As soon as I leave.
Oh yeah.
I've never been pooped on by a hummingbird.
Oh, I have.
Oh, it's a Palm Springs baptism.
Yeah. Hey, look at this.
That's so sweet.
It means you're officially a local.
So that's a Costa, huh? Not
Yeah,
a.
Costa.
Uh-huh.
Well, we
Yeah,
had,
the ruby throats are all on the other side of the Rockies.
we had a ruby throat up at our place in Eastern Washington. And he was,
Okay.
we called him Conan because he slept on the feeder. And he wouldn't let any other, he was hounding it for us.
Yeah.
And he ran off everything that was there. And we had,
That's what I was telling her. We should put a little
great.
bit of bed on it.
these guys are good.
I was telling her we should get
Yeah.
like a plant.
But we
Okay,
didn't really
I just
have
wanted
it.
to
We
do
had
this.
mostly annas, we had black fins, and we had,
We'll have black chins
here.
here.
we will. Oh, that would be good.
OMG.
then we also have the,
You are so pretty. Ah,
Isn't that
can you see how
This is
purple
great.
their little hair
So how many
was?
did you-
8 years.
They're tiny.
They are tiny.
like-
Ours are like Curtis
I
robust.
was really sick, and the treatment was really hard.
Why?
And a friend put up a hummingbird feeder, and about all I was capable of doing some days was sitting and watching the hummingbirds.
Did you smoke a little?
That's the little guy down there. He's like, never mind.
Oh man, I'll tell you, we put feeders out like this, and we had a lot. They were too small. Finally, I just went to Pepsi bottles and screwed them on the bottom, and it worked great.
Yeah.
And but
How do you call a hummingbird?
hey, Cat, you are a good cat.
You sit still. And then they'll go about their business. The biggest thing is when they like totally ignore the fact that you're there.
Every night?
And every dime. And then through the day.
And they're not even bothered by the cat.
No, the hummingbirds set boundaries. If the cats get stupid, the hummingbirds will dive bomb them and go for the eyes. I've seen one hummingbird drive off a roadrunner from the olive tree where her nest was. And the roadrunner just, there was nothing it could do.
They go after birds of prey. Anything in their territory, nothing is too good.
Yeah. We have a pair of nesting cuckoo hawks across the street,
Oh, okay.
and they're like hummingbird allies.
Oh, well,
because-
they like to build nests next to coopers and sharkfins because they protect
and
them.
red tails.
Yeah.
Because they don't hunt the hummingbirds, but they hunt the birds that do hunt the hummingbirds.
That's right. And the hummingbirds go, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we make land.
And the hawks go,
I know.
it's like having an open-ended Uber Eats account.
Pretty much. I'm Jim.
Is it
I'm
just one?
Steve.
Steve, good to meet
Is
you.
it just one kind of
This is
hummingbird
great.
here?
We've heard about you for the people, but you've been coming to the Iron
What
Church
is
for a
that
long time.
ball up there
And
for?
Randy and
Is that
Donna
the
said,
building
you
house?
guys gotta come down and meet Steve.
Yeah.
And they've got another buddy
Oh,
that you know.
Yeah, it's got
He,
fuzzy
Does?
hair.
it might be. He's into pickleball,
Okay.
and,
Yeah.
and him and Randy went to high school.
I'm like,
Big guy.
Tweet, 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 tweet. I don't blame
See,
you.
like 4 or 5 on my
Do
feet.
you have any rufus here?
20 below us.
Maybe
They're,
come in
they
occasionally?
come
Yeah.
through on migration.
Migration, okay.
Otherwise,
Yeah. And I saw a couple last week.
Did you? They're
He
gorgeous.
has like
They're-
little wings
Yeah,
on
but
his
they
head.
have,
They nest in around
you see
where
that?
I'm at.
Oh
And,
yeah, they're spectacular.
We've got the rufus, and
do you want to
But-
put this or do you want to just walk?
hi, how are you doing? We had the one that I like the
Are you
most
doing
was
this
it's the smallest
The calliope?
calliope.
I get those on migration.
Aren't those great?
I've been doing this 8 years and I've gotten one decent photograph of
Oh,
a calliope.
we had
Because as soon
calliope.
as they know you've seen them, they're gone.
Oh man, you must have been through Highlands, the Okanagan Highlands in Eastern Washington, and they bred there. So they nested, and they have all their babies.
And
Why
on the Olympic
cool because they've
Peninsula.
got
Will
those
it
little
stick?
fat bellies, and that's how you can tell because they're so small.
Mhm.
But they're gnarly little guys. The males will just go after everything.
Yeah.
It does.
The calliope's also go to
You think he'll go?
Vancouver Island.
Yeah,
And the rufus go all the way up to Alaska.
they
a lot
do.
of them,
They do.
Because they love the long twilights.
Oh, is it going to stick up there? Is it going to fall?
I've had people that stick them to their phones, and then the hummingbird comes to.
The phone?
To the phone, and then
Yeah.
they get the video right
I
on the
stuck
phone.
it to my head.
Oh, well, that'll work. That'll work.
But he's not coming over here. I don't blame him.
But he will. He will.
Well, when it's on your head, it's hard to keep it still.
Oh wait.
Oh, I'm good.
Very smart.
I've been trying to
Trying to
doing
do the
videos.
videos.
Okay. Do you want me? I can do some videos on this. But that's not often.
That is such a cool
Yeah,
idea.
usually May 15th is when they arrive in this little town I grew up in Alaska.
Uh-huh.
And
Where in
in the
Alaska?
Swallows. Soldovia,
Okay.
across from Homer, which is south of Anchorage.
Yeah.
And they come up there because my parents put the feeder out.
Yeah. Yeah, they feast on those Alaskan mosquitoes.
A big one, yeah.
We
Yeah,
called them
that's
Red
true.
Cross mosquitoes because they don't quit till they've got a pine.
We've got a fountain like this in our backyard, and they love to bathe in the
Uh-huh.
top. They
Yeah.
they hang, and we'll have them all over it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's turned off because we've been gone, and so they're going to be really pleased when we go.
Yeah, they will.
But this is great.
Yeah,
We only put one out because they fight so much. If we put two, it's just a war. And
Well-
I'm going like, well, but you know the way you've got this set up, I'm wondering,
See
By
it,
having
you can see their
these
tongue in
close
the water.
together like this, it inhibits the airspace.
okay,
And so, yeah, they still get squabbles, but they have to take it away from the feeders because
to
they
really
can't.
do the duel,
Yeah.
because everybody else is feeding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
But they set up territories on the outskirts.
Oh yeah, they do. I know.
Yeah, there's a black chin. Yeah. He's about a year old, just coming
Yeah,
into it.
it's just starting to get his color. Yeah, it's really interesting to watch them grow.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, at the iron tree last year, well, we've been coming for a long time, and every year we'll find a new nest. And so we're doing our laundry, we always hang all the cotton lint from our hanging out, and they weave that into their nest.
Yeah, they shred the ends of the palm trees.
Oh yeah, but we just take the cotton and hang it.
And I
They're
quit,
little blue eggs.
taking spider webs down.
Yeah, oh no, that's all they do, is
Yeah.
select
I
that.
was
That's
so
their
shocked
favorite.
to see
Right
it.
behind you is my Black Widow ranch.
Perfect.
So she turned her video on her camera and just held it when it
And
top of the nest.
the black chins are
Yeah,
just
well, that's
coming
right.
back in.
Uh-huh.
They go down to the Indian canyons to the south, while the Costas and the Andes and the blacktails are all breeding and being idiots.
The Annas are just everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, Annas are just,
yeah.
When I'm working under my yard.
And it's the feeders on the outside that set up the territories. You can't fight the instinct. they
Oh,
have
man.
dominated
Well,
food
we've got one in the back and we have one on the front.
I've seen them
And,
chase the flickers.
I put two in the front. And
Dive bombing.
I see animals that come year round. They don't land.
Yeah, I feel like I've got one of mine.
Wondering where the feeder is.
Yeah.
We know it's here sometime. And we're
Oh,
here.
they have incredible memories. They do that. It works on the migration.
But one time I was hunting in October. And I was up on a mountainside. And a hummingbird came and lit in a manzanita. I was sitting up on here by myself. And he just lands right next to me. Like, he just landed in the bush. I just sat there and you know, they're not afraid of people. You know, so I talked to them.
The black chins here have started nesting by humans because the activity keeps the predators away.
Just like the big birds done, huh? Birds of prey, yeah.
See that crow? Or was that a raven?
That's a raven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ravens are bigger.
Yeah, they're Mojave ravens, which is
that what
a
they're-
whole subspecies.
Is it? Okay. Because I'm seeing those out there.
Yeah, they're gnarly.
How long have you been doing this?
8 years.
Wow.
I better go home and get my water fountain going.
Yeah, it's
I'm
motivating,
just
isn't it?
mesmerized.
I know.
Your blood pressure dropping.
So cool. Is it mostly an evening thing for them?
No,
They do
they're out.
mornings,
They're out
right?
before dawn. With the first sliver of daylight.
Yeah.
Here.
They're here big. But right now is when they come into the party.
They're stocking up to last them through the night because they can't see at all in darkness.
Yeah, they go right down there.
Yeah.
They just,
They go into a thing called torpor,
yeah.
where everything really slows down. And it can take them 20 minutes to come out of that. They're very vulnerable.
Yeah, we've had
Spaces. The red shirt also too.
Uh-huh.
It's so cool to feel the air from their little wings.
Yeah, they really
Mhm.
pump it out, don't they?
They do. They get lift on both sides of their wing structure.
I actually caught a picture with a camera of the bird right at the end of its wing beat, right where I froze it. And I got it where the wings were stuck, right at the peak of the, and it was just like, I don't know how I did that.
Yeah.
It was just dumb
It's
wrong.
air control
And it was an old camera.
Yeah,
But I used my work camera for mine. Look at these guys.
I have a friend.
Iridescent.
Every moment he's off from his job as a labor organizer,
Okay.
he does wildlife photography.
Oh, yeah.
And he likes to come here for the hummingbirds because he can get so close to them.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of those patient photographers that can
sit
there for hours to wait
get
for
the
that
perfect
one
shot.
moment.
Yeah.
That's so funny because hi little guy.
Here, land on my fingers. Let's see if we can.
Hi little
There's
guy.
no red, but I have a pink shirt on.
They need sugar right now.
Yes, they've got their friend.
And I tell people that the hummingbirds are like the strippers in the champagne room. They can touch you, but you shouldn't touch them.
Can't touch them, that's right.
pretty much.
Yeah, the ones we have are very territorial. And when the feeder starts to even get low, if I walk out the kitchen door, which is on the other side of the house from where the feeder's at, they come right down. Hey, it's time.
Oh yeah. We used to drive up and we would always leave the feeder full when we left bed. And when we would drive up, they recognized my truck. And they would escort me all the way up to the house. They would follow me to the door. We would go in and bring it out. And they would be on the thing when we were walking out. They just marshaled you around.
Oh yeah.
They're really, really forward guys.
There's a
And
big
they
standard.
and they really recognize you.
Oh yeah.
Well, they know who you are.
Yeah, we have what?
There's a
Rufus,
big stand at
Calliope,
Bougainvillea
Anna,
between the
and
two hotels across the street.
Yeah.
And that's a very popular nesting. During nesting season, I like to walk over there and just walk along it because they come out now. But
You know, I saw this video on this family that was in someplace, I want to say in Louisiana, and they had a fly fruit, and his grandma and grandpa took their grandkids out, and they put them in skirts that had flowers that were all like Hawaiian shirts, but they had all these different colors, and then they had the kids stand, and they just stood out, put their arms out, and their arms were covered with the birds just landed on them.
along
And
the
it's like had 20, 30 birds.
Yeah.
along the Gulf Coast,
Oh,
when the
insane.
ruby throats migrate,
Yeah.
they swarm because the first thing they do is they leave the Gulf Coast and go to Cuba.
Yeah.
And then they fatten up there, but then they jump across the Caribbean and
That's
go
a
to Venezuela.
stretch. Yeah.
It's insane the
And,
length
you
of
know,
fly.
when we went to Guatemala, we saw this one thing. Had a
Oh yeah.
it was really cool, but I didn't know what it was. But it beat
Saber
me.
beak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
A friend
was
of mine's from
freaking
Costa Rica, and I went
cool.
over there with her.
And man, they can feed on really weird flowers.
Yeah.
We ran
Big
into a friend
flowers.
of hers
They
that
went
does
into these
ecotourism
things.
and stuff.
And-
They
and
take people to hotels on,
It was
so
really
we went.
Yeah, it's a real symbiotic thing between them and those flowers.
Yeah. And then, have you been to the gardens in botanical gardens in Saguaro National Reserve down in Tucson? They had a big hummingbird. I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
That was pretty
And
cool.
I've been to Yucatan for the Calliope.
Okay. Well, we had calappies in Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
And they were regular, but we had, like, I think we had 4 species. We had ruby throat, we had calliope, we had
But I guess Costa Rica has lots of
You wouldn't have ruby throats in Washington.
No, we didn't have ruby.
no, we didn't have ruby. It was a
Black.
black
black
chin.
chin.
It was a black chin. That was it.
Black
I-
chin,
I had to
calliope,
verify
rufus,
because I had all the bugs. I was going, no, that's not that. But the calliope, and then
Yeah, I
we
think
had a
it's-
lot of
And they have the gorget. I don't know if you've seen them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, these guys
Yeah.
have
rufus.
It's very similar.
God, they're gorgeous.
And they would
Yeah.
just like defend.
They're assholes.
Oh, they are. But the Annas overpower them because they're not as the Annas are just tougher. They're bigger.
They're faster.
Is that what it is? I couldn't figure it out. But
It's
little
if you're
calliope-
in the air,
the
speed
calliopes,
is light.
the calliopes were the wingmasters. They were like the
Well,
firefighters.
they have speed and agility.
God, they were just incredible. But it was the black chin that was like Conan. We nicknamed him that because he just slept on the stud of the feeder. He just grabbed it and slept on top of the feeder that night. We wouldn't let anybody near it.
Yeah. The
I was like, God.
the black chins are sacred.